Hi guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and today we are going to pressure can some beef stroganoff. Let's go. So for this recipe I bought some sirloin tip roast. So we need to cut this into about 2-inch chunks. So let me go drain the juice. So I'm just gonna roughly chop this into 2-inch chunks. Okay, now that we have our meat cut into 2-inch chunks, and this is about 5 pounds, we are going to take some olive oil and get it heated up in this pot. And we're gonna brown our meat but not cook it all the way through, and we're gonna do that in batches so it's a little bit easier to manage. All right, we're gonna throw in a few pieces just to get it browning. And I found these fondue forks at a local antique store. They're from the 70s and they are so perfect for flipping things in a pan. So I've started using these all the time. So we'll get these browned. And it should only take about 3 to 5 minutes per batch. When it browns like this, that is called the Maillard reaction, and that is what gives you that awesome like umami flavor of meat. And then all this brown stuff on the bottom is called fond, and we are going to deglaze our pan, which means pour a liquid in it to get all that kind of fond scraped up, and that is going to add so much flavor to your dish. So don't ever waste the fond, and make sure your meat is nice and browned, and you'll have just such better tasting food. Okay, this is not cooked all the way through, but it's browned on most sides, so we're going to take it out and just set it to the side in another bowl. And then we're going to add just another tablespoon or so of olive oil for the next batch. And just repeat until all the meat is cooked. Okay, now that our beef is cooked, we need to add 1 cup of red wine to deglaze our pan. So see, it instantly took off a lot of that, what looks like burnt on food. That is our flavor. We don't want to get rid of that. So just kind of scrape it off, let the alcohol cook off a little bit. Now we're going to add our beef back. To this we're going to add 4 cups of mushrooms, and I'm just using canned mushrooms because that's easier. I'm also adding 2 cups of onions, and these are from my garden, so that's why they kind of look like green onions, but just a sliced regular onion would be fine, like a large onion. Then we need the equivalent of 5 garlic cloves. So I'm doing about 5 teaspoons. Then we need 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. This is a 1/2 cup, so I'm only going to do half full, like that. And I'm going to do more pepper than it calls for. It calls for 1/4 teaspoon, but I'm going to put in probably a tablespoon because we really like black pepper. And I'm also going to add in a nice pinch of salt, which it also doesn't call for, but that's going to help give it some flavor and cook down those onions. All right, we're going to get this mixed together and bring it to a boil. Once this is to a boil, we need to add 6 cups of beef broth, and we need to mix it with our clear gel. So I'm going to do 2 cups here, and we need 1/3 cup of clear gel. Now this is just modified cornstarch that is for canning, and that's going to thicken our stroganoff basically without using dairy, because dairy is just one of those things that you can't really safely can at home. You just can't get a high enough temperature to kill off any of the possible bacteria and things that might grow. So we'll whisk this together here and have it ready. Now, once we pressure can this, it'll be ready to go. But since we can't can the dairy part of this, when you serve it, the recipe suggests that you take a cup of sour cream and 1/4 cup of softened cream cheese, and kind of get that heated up, and then add it to this mixture and then serve it on top of boiled egg noodles. So that is what we'll do. That'll give it that creamy element that it's missing right now. So it's a really easy kind of throw together dinner on days that you just don't feel like putting in the effort. So I am super excited to have this on my pantry shelf, and this is one of my husband's favorite dishes. So this is gonna be a household favorite, I can already tell. Okay, this is starting to boil, so we are going to let it boil for about 5 minutes, and then we'll add in our stock and clear gel and let it boil for another 5 minutes, and then it's ready to can. Alright, it has been 5 minutes, so we're going to add in our stock and clear gel. So there's 2 cups of our broth. We need 6 total, and I may not be able to fit that in here, but we'll try. So I'm going to stir this to make sure it's all incorporated. This is going to thicken pretty quickly once it boils. So I want to make sure it's evenly incorporated. So we need 4 more cups. And each of these containers is 4 cups. There we go. Perfect. All right, we're gonna let this boil for another 5 minutes until it's nice and thickened, and then we will add the contents to our jars to can. Okay, I've got my preheated mason jars here, and we're gonna go ahead and just turn the heat off. All right, now the recipe says to take a slotted spoon and add the beef and veggies 3/4 of the way up into quart jars. Make sure I get beef in each one. I think I'm not going to need this 5th one. Her recipe says that it will make 3 quarts, but I had almost 6 pounds of meat instead of 5, and I added maybe a little bit more mushrooms, so we'll just make 4 quarts. Okay, now we're going to take our liquid and pour it in until we have 1 inch of head space. So that means from the top of the food to the top of the jar rim, there's 1 inch of space. We're gonna take a chopstick and just make sure we get all the air bubbles out. Just kind of smush everything around. Okay, now I'm gonna take a cloth dipped with white distilled vinegar to wipe the rims off. This is just gonna ensure that nothing is going to prevent a seal, like some fat or a piece of veggie. And you also wanna make sure there are no chips in the glass as you're doing this. Last one. Okay, now we're gonna add our lids on, finger tight. Okay, and if you were canning this on the stove with a pressure canner, if you have a gauge pressure canner, you wanna process these for an hour and a half at 11 PSI for a dial gauge, and then 10 PSI for a weighted gauge, but I'm gonna use my electric pressure canner, so let's go do that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get these in our water. And then we're gonna get our lid back on and locked into place. We do not want the regulator on at this time, so we'll remove that. We'll hit play, and it's gonna heat up, and once it's at the right temperature, it will vent on its own. It'll have a countdown timer. It'll beep at me, all kinds of things. I'll put the regulator back on, hit play again, and it'll process automatically for an hour and a half because that's what I set it to when I turned it on to preheat the jars. And it's as easy as that. Okay, our timer dinged, so we can remove our lid. So we'll get these out with the tongs and let them sit and cool. And now, once they seal up, they will be shelf stable. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and head over to my channel to subscribe for more content like this. And I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks guys. Bye.